A warm welcome back. A new era for Ethiopian Airlines, and equally I'd even say a new era for Alaska Airlines. Plus there's some Airbus A350F order cancellations. Want to begin with Alaska Airlines, who are entering the next stage of their international expansion with new cities joining the network. That's right, beginning in spring 2026, the airline will commence flying from Seattle through to London and Reykjavik, marking the 4th and 5th new intercontinental destinations. However, Alaska Airlines isn't planning on stopping here, with the ambition for Seattle to become a global hub, serving 12 international destinations by 2030. Really, those intercontinental markets of key focus. Daily year-round service will be firstly offered to London, the British capital, described as one of the most sought-after locations and also featuring great leisure and business demand already. Utilising the 787, the Seattle to London segment will see enclosed business class suites, spacious economy seats, which will cater to both of those demographics. Additionally, as a gateway, London is viewed as the perfect point to feed traffic into more European locations, and naturally is going to just enable greater access from the West Coast through to London. With Alaska Airlines having a strong relationship with many other companies, the partner network will enable more opportunities moving forward for passengers, and the airline hopes it will entice prospective ones to make the shift to them over what is also available on the market between these route segments, or at least on the West Coast more generally. Alaska Airlines is pointing to Hawaiian Airlines, the airline it took over, and has made all of this global expansion possible, now using the 787s for operations into London and beyond under the Alaska Airlines branding. Alaska Airlines also took the opportunity to note that daily flying would be offered across the summer season to Reykjavik in Iceland, the US carrier planning on utilising its 737-8, part of the MAX family, for this route, which is designed to operate these kind of distances. Once more, the operator is pointing towards bucket list items that can be found across Iceland to make this spot the perfect location for adventure lovers to travel to, now more seamlessly than ever on their international network. While further away than the newly announced London service, the airline is still betting on this route being the perfect springboard for onward flying, thanks to partnerships with other leading global airlines. The newly announced cities join Rome as the 3 transatlantic markets, at least that we know of now, to be served from 2026 and beyond. Likely many more to follow in the future as part of those ambitions to make Seattle a true major hub, and the 787 will be at the heart of this. Meanwhile, Lease Corporation has confirmed its cancellation of orders for the upcoming A350F from Airbus. The leading aircraft lessor confirmed the news in a quarterly earnings call, digging deeper into its decision-making to back away from such a reliance on the freighter, which is exactly why I'm resurfacing this story. Forming a fundamental part of the aircraft's launch, Lease Corporation committed to the planes at the 2021 edition of the Dubai Air Show. The jets included in a larger purchase which consisted of 111 new planes. However, the order for 7 of the A350Fs was seemingly scrapped in the last month or so. As revealed by the lessor, it's now moving ahead in a bit of a different direction, and the backlog is not what it once was in terms of a reliance on freighter planes. The revelation was initially broken in the June orders and deliveries, but we were awaiting a bit of insight. Lease Corporation says that they can formally say the 7 aircraft have been cancelled. It doesn't change for them the fact that the upcoming A350F is actually a fantastic aircraft and will firmly be a top-of-the-line freighter option moving forward. However, they say over the last 4 years a lot has changed, and the industry is not quite in the same position it once was, certainly when it placed the order for the freighters. Equally, Lease Corporation's strategy has shifted. As a result, they're placing greater emphasis on passenger flying. It is absolutely not uncommon for an airline or an aircraft lessor to purchase a plane and many years down the line see its situation change. That might be a change in focus. For all we know, the company may have entered into bankruptcy, and the need for a new plane simply isn't there like it was when they purchased it. The lessor stated that moving forward it wants to stick to supporting passenger airlines rather than venturing into new freighters, which if it had moved ahead with these aircraft it would have been doing. Additionally, it is highlighted that the majority of the A350F order is going to be already a year late. Remember, this follows Airbus confirming that it would delay the program's launch. The ability to axe the upcoming planes from the backlog also frees up more than $1 billion in forward capex commitments. It means that capital has been made available for other possible alternatives that align with the business's targets now, rather than 4 years ago. Air Lease says that they are going to only continue to be disciplined buyers of new commercial aircraft, but at the moment they're in the camp where they believe the pricing of new planes to order is not attractive, therefore negotiations would need to take place to find a middle ground, or they'll hit a pause on the purchase of jets for now. Much of the capex and the impact of the cancellations sit around that 2027 to 2028 mark, which was when deliveries were expected to take place. That was also factoring in the expected delays. Over to the final story, and Ethiopian Airlines is moving ahead with renewed optimism despite challenges, expecting to really enter the next era of its operation. The airline reported revenue increases of 8%, rising to USD 7.6 billion. However, overall growth across the financial year dropped by 15%. These figures from the financial year, which ended on July 7, highlighted by the increase in overall passenger numbers. During the period, Ethiopian Airlines, which is proud to hold the title of the biggest carrier in Africa, transported 19 million people. This was an increase of 11%. The makeup of these passengers was 15.2 million flying internationally and just shy of 4 million on the domestic network, highlighting the importance for them of linking Ethiopia with the world and certainly Africa. The year saw growth in their fleet. This enabled the launch of new routes, but it certainly wasn't without some challenges across their day-to-day flying, which they feel they still need to overcome to truly be successful. There's optimism though. Really focusing in on the fleet for the moment before I get into some of those challenges, there were 13 new planes that came through the doors. This allowed for the launch of 6 new destinations and certainly beefed up their essential connectivity on an international sense. But as for some of those challenges, as confirmed by the group's CEO, it came really from global conflict and geopolitical tensions as well, which have, without really trying, impacted the aviation sector. Yes, you've got your Ukraine and Russia conflict, but the CEO pointed towards the many crises that are currently hurting the Middle East on a continuous basis and their neighboring locations. Closer to home, Sudan and the Democratic Republic of Congo are also hurting their ability to operate as fully intended, but like I've continued to state, there is a lot of optimism that a new era awaits the business, with many exciting opportunities planned, and this is certainly going to be aided by the delivery of new commercial aircraft. One of the most exciting prospects, and for me being the country I'm from, is them flying towards Australia. This is something that's been discussed by executives over recent months. It's something that's been highly speculated by those close to the industry as well. The regional manager of Asia Pacific at the company confirming that preparations were well underway to establish themselves in the land down under. Many cities are possible, but the possible opportunity more so of serving Melbourne before any other city would be likely the choice, backed up by data. That doesn't mean they will head there, that being my home. Sydney is also an option, and some may look towards Perth as well. But for all of that to take shape, there needs to be the delivery of new aircraft, and with all of the delays, there's a bit of uncertainty on when that will take place, alongside the associated approvals required. Let me know your thoughts. Thank you very much for your support here on the channel. It really does mean a lot. Take care, be safe, and I'll see you tomorrow.
And we'll fly.